I have recently watched a bunch of videos on YouTube about women who wear hijab or forms of veil. They were made by women who are wearing these things, and what they're saying most of the time is we are not oppressed. We are being looked upon as oppressed, but we are not oppressed. And this is a video about why I believe you are oppressed. Why I believe even women who have the freedom of making a YouTube video, women who have escaped the Arab world and live in the Western civilization, or even those who live in the most free of the Arab world. First of all, I believe you are oppressed when you're wearing the veil because you don't have the choice of not wearing it. I know many of you say this is my choice, I choose to wear this, but is it really true? Because I believe it is not. More along the line, women always say, veiled women that is, always say, men do not perceive me for my sexuality this way, they perceive me for my personality. And men out there are very sexual, cannot be trusted, and if you do not behave, you shall be molested. And now, if that's not oppression, I don't know what it is. When you are told that you should wear a veil because otherwise men will violate you, that is oppression. Because it says that you cannot be protected any other way but you covering yourself up, by punishing yourself and not letting yourself be free and express who you are all the time. Because some idiot might come and rape you, and you are just prey for men, and there is no other way you can defend yourself, and you are not strong enough to impose the kind of respect the men need not to rape you, even if they want to. No, that's fucking oppression. Second of all, the way I dress, the way I smile, the way I wear my hair is all part of my personality. That tells people something. Of course, I don't need it. I can be dressed in a freaking sheet and my personality will still show up because it's very strong and outward, but they just take a look at me and know where I'm coming from, who I am, why I'm there. They know I am what I am, partly because of the way I dress, partly because of the way I show myself to them. You are also oppressed because you are told since you were kids that this is the will of your God, which is not true. There is no veil in the Quran. All that is said in the Quran is cover your private parts, and they mention the bosom, the breasts. So the way I see it, as long as you cover your friggin' breasts, you are fine in the eyes of your Lord. People will tell you different. And you know why? because they do not trust you. They do not trust you to make the right choices. They do not trust you to be strong enough to defend yourself if needed. They do not trust you to not get yourself raped by a bunch of hooligans in a parking lot. Now that's a good thing, to protect yourself from all these things, but you can do it in so many ways. Why covering yourself up? This doesn't make any sense. Why punish yourself? And also, it's a lie. And that's oppression. Now, I believe most of you who have come in the civilized world do not feel oppressed and feel like wearing a veil is your choice, because you're not really wearing a veil. That hijab thing, not really a veil. You're showing your face. You wear makeup. There are the headscarves are colored and pompous, and you wear fancy clothes next to it and modern, and you do look sexy even covered, and you do have sex appeal, and that is a sign of civilization, and that is a sign of freedom. And you say, oh yeah, wearing a headscarf, I'm not oppressed. Of course you are not oppressed. Nobody makes you wear it anymore. You're wearing it as an ornament, which is not what it's supposed to freaking be in the first place by your religion that you say you care so much about. The veil means nothing. The veil means something for the women in the Arab world who cannot choose not to wear them. Those who are constantly being abused, those who are constantly being treated badly and given no choice. But let's talk about choice. Being oppressed is basically not having a choice. So, do you have the choice of not wearing your veil? Because if I wanted to dress fancy or show half my ass and half my tits out, my friends and my family they would probably look at me like, what the fuck are you doing, woman? But definitely I would be the same for them. I wouldn't change my perception. How about you? What if you would stop wearing the veil? What would your family say? What would your friends say? And ultimately, what would your church say? Or mosque or whatever? Would you still be the same in their eyes if you would choose not to wear the veil? If you would choose to follow the Quran and only cover your breasts and say, hey, this has nothing to do with my hair. There is no hair mentioning on the Quran. There is no neck mentioned in the Quran. I can show those. That's okay. My breast top below my neck 20 centimeters, so I believe that is fine. What would they say? Who would you be? Would you still have the same friends? Would you be still accepted by your community? What would your family say or do, or would they accept it? So, is it really a choice? And if nothing would change, if your church and your family and your friends would not look at you differently if you didn't wear the veil, why the fuck would you wear it anyway? It's definitely not a sign of modesty anyway. It's not a sign of you being asexual anymore. It's not a sign of protection, and it's definitely not what God ever required of you. So why the fuck would you wear this object who your Prophet Muhammad borrowed from the Christian Byzantines and Persians I don't know how many freaking years ago? What has that got to do with you? What has that got to do with your personality? With your life? And why would you make such a big deal out of it? Because it certainly is not. Certainly is not.